How would a war between Iran, Israel, and the United States play out in 2026? Let's break down the military power of these three nations, looking at budgets, armies, air power, and their deadliest weapons. This isn't just about numbers, it's about strategy, technology, and what a future conflict could actually look like. First, let's talk money. The United States has a defense budget of over $800 billion a year. That's more than the entire economy of many countries. Israel's budget is much smaller but still substantial, and it gets a huge boost from US support and technology. Iran's budget is the smallest of the three, by a long shot. They spend tens of billions, focusing their cash on specific areas like missiles and drones, because they can't afford to compete with American aircraft carriers or stealth jets. Next up, boots on the ground. The US has a massive active force of about 1.4 million soldiers, sailors, and airmen, with another 800,000 in reserve. Iran has a combined total of around 1 million personnel, including active and reserve forces, a very large army. Israel has a smaller active force of about 170,000, but here's the key. They can quickly call up nearly 500,000 highly trained reservists, making their army formidable in a crisis. Now for the skies, where the differences are staggering. The United States has over 13,000 aircraft. That includes thousands of the world's most advanced stealth fighters, bombers, and a global network of refueling planes that lets them strike anywhere, anytime. Israel's air force is smaller but incredibly advanced. They fly F-35 stealth fighters, F-15s, and F-16s, all packed with superior Israeli tech for targeting and electronic warfare. Iran's air force is their biggest weakness. It's mostly made up of older, aging jets. To make up for this, they've invested heavily in something else: unmanned aerial vehicles, or drones. In terms of traditional air power, the US is far ahead, followed by Israel, with Iran a distant third. This brings us to Iran's main strength, its missile and drone arsenal. Iran has the largest and most diverse stockpile of missiles in the Middle East. Their ballistic and cruise missiles can reach targets across the entire region. On top of that, their rapidly growing fleet of attack drones, capable of flying in swarms, is designed to overwhelm even the most sophisticated defenses. So, how do you stop that? Israel has one of the world's best air defense systems. It's a multi-layered shield, Iron Dome for short-range rockets, David's Sling for medium-range threats, and the Arrow system to intercept long-range ballistic missiles. The United States adds another layer of protection, providing its own missile defense systems and helping to integrate everything into a powerful defensive network. So, while Iran has the numbers and missiles, the US and Israel have the high-tech solution to stop them. What about at sea? The US Navy is in a league of its own, with over 200 major warships, including nearly 24 aircraft carriers that are essentially floating military bases. In contrast, Iran and Israel have smaller navies focused on coastal defense. They have dozens of smaller vessels, but neither has an aircraft carrier or the ability to project naval power across the globe. Finally, the ultimate weapon: nuclear capability. It's confirmed that the United States and Israel both possess nuclear weapons. Iran does not currently have them, but its nuclear enrichment program and development of ballistic missiles create constant tension, as these are the key components needed to build and deliver a nuclear warhead. So what's the verdict for a 2026 conflict? In a direct war, a US and Israeli alliance would likely dominate the air and sea. Israel's advanced defenses would intercept many of Iran's missiles, but some would almost certainly get through, causing significant damage. Iran's strategy would not be to win a conventional battle, but to make the cost of war. They would use their missiles and drone swarms to hit military bases and critical infrastructure across the region. They would also activate their network of proxy forces, like Hezbollah, to open up new fronts and stretch their enemies thin. The combined technological and strategic power of the US and Israel would ultimately outweigh Iran's advantages in numbers. But Iran's focus on asymmetric warfare means any conflict would be incredibly destructive and difficult to contain. It wouldn't be a quick victory for anyone. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown interesting, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more deep dives into global events. See you next time.